Matt Hall and Grant Flanders in Fort Worth, where the Cats get the win 64-52. Matt, take me through this game.
A very interesting game. Something Bruce Weber said afterwards I thought was clever was that K-State had to win this game 3 times. And it's their fault they did, but no, it was 23-23. Then K-State goes up by 9 at the end of the first half. They come out on fire in the second half, go by 21. They give that up. I think it gets as close as 7 in the second half, and K-State has to close it out again. So, it's their own fault, no excuses, but K-State had to win this game 3 times here at TCU. They did it. Kansas State now 7-2 on the road. I think we were told it's the most road conference wins K-State's had since 1959, and that's the kind of thing you typically have to do to win a Big 12 championship.
Only 3 points off the bench for the Cats. How big were the starters in this one?
Huge. We could go down the line and list all of them off. Each of them made major contributions. I will say the 3 off the bench were from Mike McGurl. Only 3 points, but he was big tonight with deflections, had a huge 3-point play when TCU tied it up at 23-23, but you're right. It was the starters, all those guys. The biggest of them all, probably Barry Brown. After 2 rough games and a rough first half, where he only had 4 points, he finishes with 16, 12 of those in the second half. Every time it felt like TCU was putting K-State in a lot of trouble in the second half, Barry Brown seemed to make a big play.
Barry brought up in postgame how big it was for him to get it going in that second half.
I just came, man. I just wanted to, like I said, Coach called my number late in the game, and I was trying to execute. I hit a couple pull-ups as the game went on and kind of just felt a good rhythm. And so I just was able to hit a few more and open up the scoreboard.
So yeah, Matt, you brought up Barry. Talk about some other guys that got it going.
Like you said earlier, it really was all of them. McCall Wayne had 10 points and 6 boards. He wasn't perfect tonight, of course, had trouble catching the ball inside, but when he did, 5 of 6 from the floor. He had a big dunk for K-State in the second half and a big 15-footer that ended a big TCU run. Xavier Sneed was in double figures tonight, hit a couple of key shots. Of course, it was all over the floor. Dean Wade didn't do a lot in the second half, but had a big first half, 9 points. He had 9 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, I think. So they got contributions from everybody. I haven't mentioned Cam Stokes yet. I think Barry Brown was the player of the game, but Cam Stokes was right behind him. Stokes again gets 5 boards, I believe 4 assists, maybe just 1 turnover in 35 minutes. He had 16 points tonight, I believe. So all the starters, like you said, were big. And if it wasn't Barry Brown tonight as player of the game, it would have been Cam Stokes.
And Cam brought up in postgame how big it is to keep getting wins so they can win this Big 12.
It's very rewarding. But the thing we talk about is not being satisfied, and we talked about that the whole year. We pretty much been in first. And we couldn't get comfortable with that because we knew that teams were going to fight to get us out of that position. And, if we take care of business Saturday, then it's ours. So we got to prepare for that because they're going to come ready to fight too. And, it'll be real lovely to get that.
So now we look to the future, Matt. Tech, they got to win tonight.
Right.
Now they're still tied with K-State at the top of the Big 12. Tell me what the future holds for K-State.
Obviously, it holds a big game on Saturday. K-State will host Oklahoma, a team they beat earlier this season in Norman. If the Wildcats beat Oklahoma, at worst, they will share the Big 12 title with Texas Tech. If Texas Tech were to lose at Iowa State on Saturday and K-State were to win, the Wildcats would win it outright. So this is what you want. It's what you play all season for. You have a home game against Oklahoma, another chance to sweep a team in the Big 12. And if you do it, you're at least sharing the Big 12, at worst, with Texas Tech.
After the game, Coach Bruce Weber brought up how big it is to control their own destiny at this point.
I mean, it's just, to me, I think the best thing, it's like Barry said, it's just another game. And it's an important game. Obviously, Oklahoma's going to be desperate just like TCU. I just told our guys, honor the seniors, play at a high level, be prepared. We're off tomorrow. Wednesday will be very light. We'll see what Oklahoma does tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night, right? And, see what happens there. We can all watch them. Lon's done a nice job. They're playing small ball. They're switching everything. They're playing zone. They beat TCU with a zone here a couple weeks ago. We're going to have to play, So it's, last time we had to go on the road, and I can still see Marcus Smart flopping, and the call going the other way. But, we at least we got a piece of it. And, that group was special. Rodney, Tay, Jordan, Shane, Will, Bradley, all that group. And it's a lot like this group, very resilient and stayed the course.
So, yeah, the Cats are now 13-4 in the Big 12, as we said earlier, tied with Tech atop the standings. He's Matt Hall. I'm Grant Flanders from Fort Worth.
Tell your friends.
Yes, please.